Right. My apologies. My computer is a little bit slow today. Okay. So we'll begin just by sharing about the mission of Lech-Lecha. Lech-Lecha seeks to bring our people to the outdoors in order to take a step back from our daily lives, from our daily habits, from our daily surroundings, to really open our hearts, open our eyes, open our minds, to dive deeper into connection with ourselves, with the world around us, with our community, with our tradition, with God. And we do so in a very open and pluralistic environment. Though Raffi and I are both bearded, kippah-wearing men, it is not the case of all of our staff or participants whatsoever, nor are Raffi and I identical whatsoever in perspective, and we really try to hold a tremendous diversity within our within Lech-Lecha's population, both in staff and in participants, and we try to really spark genuine Jewish journey. That's really our goal, is that through journeying in the wilderness, we inspire journeying in the soul, seeking deeper meaning in our lives, seeking growth, seeking deeper connection. And that journey really manifests differently for each individual. And we don't pressure a particular path or way whatsoever, but we really just seek to spark genuine personal journey. And our teen, again, I apologize for the slow computer, but our teen program began 3 years ago, when we were actually just a small single trip with 9 participants, followed by a bit of a bigger trip with 13 participants. Last year, we were 2 trips with 20 participants, 10 each. And hopefully this year will be 3 trips with a goal of 30 participants. So we're grateful to be growing steady. And we're really blessed to have received tremendous feedback, as you've heard from many of our participants live. So I don't need to read off the feedback from the screen. I'll play a short 1-minute video. If you haven't seen it already, then you'll have a chance. And if you have seen it already, then it's the best. So take a minute to take out the popcorn and
Adventure
enjoy.
Camp is an experience of deep connection with a group of peers. Teens connect to the nature, to one another, to Hashem, to our tradition, through backcountry experience, canoeing, backpacking, rock climbing.
It's just great being out in the wilderness, away from and the views are gorgeous. What's not to like?
Some things are challenging when you're in a new place or you're in a new experience or people you haven't met before. Lech-Lecha does an amazing job of incorporating everybody into a great community and making sure everybody's needs are met in whatever cases they are.
We all have a love of like nature and connecting with others, connecting with our Judaism.
I've gotten a lot more in touch with Jewish practice, Jewish tradition. I never really realized there is a lot of like just sort of routine work that goes into like fully practicing Judaism.
So a bunch of people are returning this year, so I'm getting to like see old faces, but then I'm also getting to meet new people. And that's been really, really interesting and fun.
You are alone together, but you have this like shared mission. And so even if you might not have common interests, you have this like unified goal. You've got to keep going, got to keep pushing.
The counselors are just really wonderful, and they're always willing to lend a hand, always there to talk to if you need someone to lift you up.
After a few days, we're singing together. We are praying together. We're caring for one another and supporting one another, and getting to see that every year, and getting to see the love, the genuine care between our participants, and the genuine joy that they experience out here in the woods together brings me so much happiness.
Come walk with us. Come walk with us.
Come walk with us.
Come walk with us at Lech-Lecha.
Amazing. I could watch that a million times. Okay, tremendous. So we'll check out this year's trek itinerary, and I'll pass the baton to Raffi to describe a little bit about what this year's trek looks like.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have an amazing trek in store for this summer. It's a very special one because we're going to be out in Shenandoah, uh, which is going to be great and convenient for our DC and Maryland families. And we're very excited to be over there. So we're going to be starting just north of Shenandoah National Park in an area called the G.R. Thompson Wildlife Management Area. We'll be there for a few days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We'll be out in the wilderness in the Green Tunnel, as the Appalachian Trail is also called. And it'll be like really fun, and it'll be a great chance to get started and warm up to the experience of trekking. So after Tuesday, we're going to be getting onto the Shenandoah River, which we're very excited to be canoeing through. Shenandoah River is a national, it's like a really special national river that is featured in the classic song by John Denver. And we're very excited to be over there. We'll be there for 3 days, canoeing through the river and camping alongside it. After that, we'll be going over to a cabin called Corbin Cabin, which is a rustic cabin. It's nestled in the woods, and we'll build an eruv and we'll make challah, and we'll create Shabbat together as a group, and then we will be in Shabbat together as a group, which is one of the most special days of our trips. It is our 0 day, which is when you're not doing any miles. And then finally, we'll be ending off our final day for the first week trekkers. Shabbat is a very special experience to kind of reflect and integrate all the experiences that we had during the week, and to just share in the joy of all the fun things we did. So that's the first week of Shenandoah. Here's a map that shows us exactly the route that we'll be taking. And yeah,
the back thing here.
This is the route. Yeah, the previous one was the hiking route for the first 3 days, and this is going to be our river route. So we will be going with a group called the Shenandoah River Adventures. Here's the awesome cabin that we'll be going to.
The cabin, you should know, I'll just offer a few details about the cabin. The cabin is an incredible, unique cabin that's actually over 100 years old, I believe. I believe it was built in 1902, if I'm not mistaken. And it is not like the cabin that we slept in last year over Shabbat. It's a little bit more rustic. So it doesn't have nice mattresses or running water or electricity. It's a cabin in which we'll be, putting our sleeping pads on the bunk beds, and we'll be setting up an outdoor shower with a solar heated water bag, and we'll be doing some laundry in the nearby river. So though it is not necessarily the most comfortable cabin experience you may have had, it'll definitely be one that is building, that shows your incredible strength. Sometimes when we experience the lack of tools and lack of mechanical support from the outside, we realize the tremendous power that we have from within. Like, who thought that I can actually clean my clothing with my hands, and who thought that I can create a shower in the middle of the wilderness without running water. So we will clean up the Shabbat, and we'll have all of Friday to build together. It's a little bit more rustic than last year, though, so just important to know.
I just want to add on to that just something, which is that it'll be a brand new experience. It's something that we're very excited to be doing as a group, and offering people this very hands-on way of really being at a cabin and doing all of the things that are necessary for getting resettled on our own, without all of the necessities that we normally have, all of the amenities that we normally have. Okay. Great. week 2. First day, we will be saying goodbye to our first weekers, and we will be going up. We'll be going up to the next phase of our journey. Next day, we're going to be going over to the rock climbing area in a place called Stony Man. And this is a picture of Stony Man Cliff.
Rock wall. It's a pretty incredible wall.
Yeah. Wow. What a view. So we will be having, there will be areas for all levels of experience for people to try rock climbing at their own level. So that's just something to keep in mind. We are working with a group that will be of like an expert rock climbing group who will be guiding us over there in the safest ways possible. Next day, we're going to be getting back on the trail. We'll be heading back over to the northern part of the Shenandoah Park, and we will be hiking up towards like the final area of our trip.
It'll be pretty, as you can see, the altitude gain and loss. It's a pretty intensive hike. It's a challenging week, but one that will also involve tremendous achievement and some of the most beautiful views that you can imagine. It's really incredible. This area of the trek is often termed the roller coaster because it is up and down and tremendous views. It is alongside Skyline Drive, a famous road that runs through Shenandoah that really is some of the most beautiful views on the east, and is really special hiking.
Yeah, and I just add to that as well, which is that we always have such a great time during the second week of our trip. People are stronger. People are ready to face the woods in a very empowered way, and it's always a really special moment of like, wow, like look at how far I can go. Look at how much I can achieve after just a few days out in the woods, and that's like a really special aspect of the second week of the trip that I always find to be so fun.
The final Shabbat
So
will be spent at a place called Bear's Den, which is actually a nice cabin area. We'll be camping out within the premises of a very beautiful, fun trekker spot. We'll be accompanied by other Appalachian Trail trekkers, who many of them will be through hikers, which is some of the most cherished moments along the trail when you meet the through hikers and get to hear their stories, their tales,
trail names.
Exactly, and Bears Den will be a fun warm shower and a fun Shabbat to end up our experience in comfort. So,
and that will be at a place called the Bears Den Center, and then that's where we're going to be having pickup for our trip.
There will be hopefully a shuttle offering. The truth is that registrants at this point have not actually expressed too much interest in the shuttle service, so it'll depend on how much interest there is. If we do not provide a shuttle service, then it's very likely that there will be sufficient drivers to carpool together, and that is indeed what we did last year. Eric and Leah took a huge crew. It's like those images of a bunch of people walking, climbing out of a little car. So Eric and Leah took a large crew, and we'll see this year, but potentially also we'll be providing a service for those who need to be able to get down together. Though Boston is not on this list, one could potentially get themselves to New York and then join the ride from there. Our final trek option in August we'll just share really quickly a 1 week option that is based off last year's trek, which was an incredible journey through the Delaware Water Gap, and it'll involve 3 days of backpacking, 3 days of canoeing on the Delaware Water Gap River, the Delaware River, which is an incredible, winding, fun river with some fast but not dangerous little rapids to enjoy, bald eagles overhead, and beautiful wildlife surrounding us. I'll ask, let's see, Anna, what was for you backpacking, canoeing, or rock climbing? What was your favorite element of the journey?
My favorite things that happened while we were on this were probably the canoeing and preparing for Shabbat. It was like just a bunch of us were like it was just really fun to be connected. Another fun thing that we did while we were canoeing once is like if we were just like lazy and felt like just floating down the river, not having to paddle anymore, we would get our canoes as close as we could and then grab onto either side and just connect them into one giant raft and just float down the river. Something, yeah, it's fun.
We'd sing together.
Yeah.
Row your boat round.
We did do that. That was like
So good.
Yes, rafting up.
Aliyah and Hadassah, how about you? You have a favorite segment of the journey?
I mean, I personally just like the backpacking. It's the biggest challenge of the three.
I also like the backpacking, but the canoeing was also a lot of fun.
And Aliyah, let's ask, like, I wouldn't, as a short person myself, not that you're short, but as like a not relatively small person myself, so we're friends in the small person camp club, small person club. Is backpacking hard for you as part of the small person's club, or?
It was fine.
I mean, I'm kind of shortish too, but it's not especially hard. Of course, it's going to be hard. It's backpacking, but it's not harder than it would be if you were taller.
Yeah, there's like everyone saw there's like a few tiny things that were probably a bit better than possible, but it was fine.
It was fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, somehow we managed. We tried to guide packing our packs as well as possible in order to center the weight around our hips and to ensure that our packs fit us well, and we distribute the food and the communal gear such that those who can take more, and those who can take less, and it becomes really a team effort in which the one primary rule is honesty and being real and open with where we're at and our own needs, and we try to promote very genuine and honest expression of how can we help, how can you support, where are you at, how are you feeling, and every challenge that we make, that we experience, it does not mean that we're weak, does not mean that we can't do as much as others. It's just an opportunity to come together and an opportunity to face challenges together and to really be there for one another. So that's the culture that we try and succeed in creating on our treks.
Yeah, we really do succeed in that. Something that really impresses me on the Lech-Lecha trail, on the trail with Lech-Lecha, is the way that the community, the group of teens come together and support each other in building the campsite and getting to the next stop on the trail. I remember one day where I was carrying a big container of water with me and also my pack, which was very heavy. And one of the teens came over to me and grabbed the water and was like, "I'll carry it for you." And I was it was so nice. It's such an amazing way that people are able to support each other on the trail.
Eric and Leah, before we open up for some questions, maybe you could share about your experience with safety and communications and anything else as a parent that you felt potentially originally was concerning for you that your experience
Hi everybody. Anna's dad, Eric. And, you know, I guess from a parental perspective, I wasn't worried, you know, uh, and I'm a natural worrier, um, you know, so the fact that I wasn't was like really sweet. And, you know, we, I want Anna to have adventures. I want her to have the experience of being with, you know, skilled, um, people who know the trail. And, you know, thank you, Raffi, thank you, Nadav, for caring so well. But and I want her to have that experience with just her friends, figuring out how to navigate life on the trail. And so zero worry. And then the one thing I will say is that every single day I just looked forward to photographs. Like I wanted to, you know, I wanted to see the WhatsApp, you know, like, and just to see our child and other young people smiling, and the frozen moments of we knew when they were making camp or cooking a meal or singing a song or walking in the trail. Uh, those were joyful. Those were joyful from a parental perspective, and with zero worry and like excitement and delight that our child, our daughter, was getting to do this with some other amazing teams and amazing leaders.
Thank
I
you
would
so
agree with that. You know, based on who we learned about Lech-Lecha from, it was like there wasn't even a question around. I guess I should have questioned more, but a sense of trust and safety. Of it just felt like such a right place to have Anna, you know, connect into, and it did prove to be that. And we did love the pictures. And I think I mentioned at some point having even unplugging for us would also be a good a good practice, because you were very forthright with all kinds of wonderful pictures and you know, just little videos and things, which we appreciated. And also the other safety we appreciated too, that you know we could see, but also Anna then shared later of how they all just work together. And I want to reiterate, when I asked Anna first, I said, what was your favorite part? Immediately that she said preparing for Shabbat, which made my heart just, you know, grow, because that was one of the reasons that we wanted, you know, it's one thing getting into the woods, but doing it from a Jewish container was just pretty awesome. And that goes beyond all bounds, you know, just everybody is in there together. And so those are my few things, but
thank you.
and that we never heard, I mean, I don't know if anybody else did, I don't think so, but we never heard that there were no complaints or injuries or whatever. You know, it was whatever happened was taken care of, but also, you know, ended up being really safe. But it was certainly challenging, I know, as well. And but that was, you know, that you just all had that taken care of. So, and Anna made remarkable friends.
Does anybody want to ask any questions?
Oh, and I'll also say that, you know, we're in Philadelphia, somewhere between Boston and wherever. So, you know, we're going to plan to pack up 1 or 2 cars of happy campers if needed, you know. So whether it's the shuttle or our cars, which was fun for us. So
Amazing. Thank you so much.
I'll just quickly add that on all of our trips, there is a certified wilderness first responder that's guaranteed on all of our trips. And also that we teach some wilderness first aid on our trips to give people the chance to really think about what it means to engage with safe practices in the woods.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Is it it looks like there's one trip for each of those three time periods. So there's the late June, the July, and then the end of August. So are the age groups mixed together? for those trips?
It's going to be dependent on number of registrants. So we hope from the outset to have enough participants to be able to have 2 separate age groups. It's likely at this point that we'll have 1 age group, except for potentially June, it could be 2 separate age groups. I will add and have any past participants comment that the breadth of age, the spectrum of ages, we find actually does add tremendously to the experience for many. We're used to, in many of our environments, being with our own age group, which can bring out some good character traits and can bring out some less positive character traits. Often a more competitive attitude can arise, potentially a more complex, let's say, social dynamic can arise. And we found on Lech-Lecha that when you do have the ages together, it actually produces, it I think draws out the mature side of all of us, that the older campers really want to be the older campers and to show that they're the older campers and support the younger campers and to step into their maturity. And the younger campers want to be friends with older campers and step into their maturity as well. So I think we've actually found that it's a wonderful dynamic. So part of us hopes that we have the right number of participants to do a shared group, but we do at the outset, if we can get enough participants, then we will split between the age groups.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, pleasure.
Hi, I just had a quick question about the session, because our school goes till for the end of June in New York, and so the end of I'm not sure what the date of the June, 2 weeks too, and or if 1 week too, if the team is enjoying it, like how does
We're having trouble, I think. I'm having trouble hearing. Is somebody else able to hear?
Yeah, it's broken up for me too. I think you might need to maybe try to move closer to wherever the microphone is.
Sure, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, sorry. Really about schools.
I think there might be a challenge with the microphone. It could.
Oh yeah, it broke. It stopped working.
I'm gonna take a
Would
guess.
you like to type it?
I'll take a quick guess of the question, which potentially the question I heard was that, I apologize, I forgot your names.
Cheryl. Cheryl and David and Lillian.
Cheryl and Lillian. So Lillian ends school mid-trip in June. Sounds like potentially you're asking, is it possible to join for the second half of the trip? Okay.
Or if you do week 1, can you add week 2?
If you do week,
we're typing in.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So in general, there is the potential for flexibility. It's somewhat dependent upon where we are along the trek. We continue session is the trek.
Definitely.
So potentially to sign up for 1 week, and if the trekker is joining it, then to join the second week. So we can discuss that. The details, are dynamic. It's going to depend on the exact number of participants. We have to make some reservation details, but there's definitely a lot of flexibility in it. So the exact details we can discuss, but absolutely we can be flexible to meet your needs, and it's very, very much understandable that you might want to sign on for a week and see how it goes and see if.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hear us now?
We can usually hear you at the beginning, and then at some point your microphone decides to stop listening. It's a rebellious.
Oh wow. Okay, so if they want to do the second session, that's possible, or that's
Just join for the second session. It's a possibility. We wouldn't have it be our first. We wouldn't promote it primarily because during the first week there is obviously a process that the group undertakes together, and jumping in the middle, can be challenging for the participant. That being said, our trips and our participants are really, really warm and welcoming and loving. So I don't think it will be too challenging. So first we'd promote, if we can find a way for it to work with the schedule. But if it doesn't work with the schedule, then we can definitely find a way to join midway. That wouldn't be too difficult. So yes. Okay. Raffi, is there anything to add?
I don't know. I think that's it. I'll
So
just
maybe,
yeah, I just want to add that this is such a powerful experience for everyone who attends, including our Trek leaders. And it's just an amazing way of getting a chance to get back out into nature over the summer, being part of Jewish community, and yeah, and connecting with others and ourselves, as we like to say.
So I'll just close off with one quick word of Torah, that today is Rosh Chodesh Adar. It's the new month of Adar, the first day of the new month of Adar. Really, it's the last day of the previous month, but tomorrow the first day. It's a 2-day Rosh Chodesh, 2 days of the first month, the 2 days of the first day of the new month. In any case, Adar is the most joyous month in our calendar, and it's a funny word. It is made up of an aleph and then the word dar. So you can read it as adur, which means I will live. I will really, like, I will dwell. But dor comes from the word dror. Dror means freedom. And freedom meaning that one can dwell anywhere they choose. Dror is what we call on the 7th year, the 50th year, the Jubilee year, the Shemitah year. We call Dror that anybody who's enslaved, anybody who is shackled in whatever they're enslaved to, is called to be free. And that freedom is is expressed in our ability to dwell wherever we choose. And that experience is very much felt in the wilderness, in which we realize, wow, during my year when I'm at home, I'm actually enslaved to a lot of different things. Maybe it's my social circle, maybe it's my phone, my screens, maybe it's what I think of myself. I think of myself as being weak. I think of myself in this way. Maybe it's the way in which I relate to my parents, that I usually relate to them in this way, and I'm enslaved to that habit. And the ability to just break out and to open up to possibility. There are no fences in the woods. There's nothing stopping us, nothing blocking us. And we are called upon to step up. And I hope that together this summer, we're able to experience that freedom from anything that's holding us back from growing into our best selves. So hope to get to see you soon. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to all of our past participants for joining us again. We really, really appreciate it. And to our new participants, see you soon.
Thank you so
Looking
much.
forward to having you. So welcome.
Thank you, Nadav. We're happy to,
Bye.
and everybody, we're happy to be resources.
You're the best. Yes, and if anybody, any interested parents or campers want to speak directly with past parents and campers, our families are more than happy to discuss and to connect. So just let us know. We'll connect you.
Great. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.